Hey everyone, my name's Gabby, and today I'm talking to you about this button here. Now, you may have seen it in your vehicle and unsure of what it does. Well, have you ever taken a look at your cluster and thought, wow, that's not what it was at yesterday. I must have messed something up. Now, this I like to call our notes button or our page button, and it changes what's displayed right ahead of you. And on some particular models, it also does a whole lot more. So today I'm showing you on this brand new Kia EV9, but also this used Kia Soul, because we have very different controls based off our touchscreen displays from that button. Let's get into it, starting with the EV9. So the EV9 is a very tech-savvy car. But I will say you don't have to have an EV9 to watch this video. If you have any vehicle with the screen size larger than 10 1/4 inches or 10 1/4 inches and larger, these are the steps you're gonna have to take. You can't adjust anything about what your gauge cluster displays in particular on the main screen. Hear me out. Come a little closer and I'll show you guys the page button. It's located on the left-hand side of this particular vehicle, but it's important to mention that depending on what kind of car you have, whether it's a Kia or a Hyundai, a 2022 versus a 2026, it could be flipped on the right side or vice versa. But you'll be looking for a page that looks like this. I'll put it right over here. Every time I press this button, it cycles between what's available for viewing on our gauge cluster. So the first click will introduce our navigation or a compass. If I actively had a route set on my navigation, that would show me my turn-by-turn, but if you don't have a route set, it's simply a compass. Press it one more time and it shows me my lane safety menu. If I were to hold down on OK, which is on this dial right over here, pushing it like a button would jump me into my lane safety settings. One more press though, and we have a more technological menu. So this shows our drive power distribution, as well as our current trip, since charging or after charging, as well as since the last reset, a range trip guide, and our active tire pressure monitor. One more down, and then of course we have our all-wheel drive torque distribution. Depending on what kind of vehicle you have, whether it's an electric car, a gas car, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, some of these menus may be here, some of them may not. So of course, if your vehicle is not all-wheel drive, there will certainly be no all-wheel drive torque distribution. If your vehicle doesn't have navigation, you won't have the compass, vice versa. There's a lot of variables here. But the key note is everything you would like to see displayed on the gauge is accessed through this note button. If I want to make changes to my driver assistance functions, while I can press OK to jump me into a shortcut, everything doesn't have to be accessed through the gauge, and I can always make changes on my main screen here. So on this particular vehicle running our new CCNC software, if I want to make changes to the driving conditions, like the driver assistance on the vehicle, I go to the vehicle menu, driver assistance, and then I'll go ahead and select which items I would like to change. You'll see in just a few seconds when we hop into the Kia Soul how that was not always the case, and some changes have to be done entirely from our steering wheel menu. Let's get into it. Now it's time for the Kia Soul. Now this particular vehicle has an 8-inch touchscreen display, and this is important because we can't change any of our driver assistance functions on the touchscreen. It all has to be done with a specific menu on the page button. So come a little closer, let's take a look at where that button's located and what systems and what menus we have access to. So on this Soul, it's on the right-hand side of our steering wheel and it's the top left button. Every time I press this, of course, it's going to change what's displayed on our gauge cluster, with our lane assist system being the first, and then we have our drive info. I will use the arrows just below our page button to navigate upwards or downwards. And then if I want to select something, I'm going to press it down like a button to OK or select it. So back to the main page. Drive info's first, then we have since refueling, and then accumulated info. That's it for our trip page. By pressing the note button one more time, I'll now access user settings. And here's where it's very different than what we saw in the EV9. If I go and press down on my selector, I can go ahead and make adjustments to the driving convenience on my vehicle. So driving safety, if I want to turn off the forward collision avoidance, I can uncheck it here. That's not something you do on the Ioniq or EV9. I'm going to head back though and take a look at everything else we can adjust. Your cluster theme selection is all located here. You can even make some final or smaller adjustments like turning off your welcome sound. So there's a lot more you can do on our smaller touchscreen, simply because it's not changed on the touchscreen like our more modern cars or our vehicles with the larger system display. I'll go through our final page and then we'll end off today's video. So by pressing the notes or page button one more time, I can access our last menu, which is our tire pressure. Now, if your vehicle is something like the Seltos LX all-wheel drive, for example, you would have a tire pressure menu, but also a menu showcasing your all-wheel drive torque distribution. Now that's about it for today's video, you guys. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any other questions about what you can adjust on either type of vehicle, let me know in the comments down below, and subscribe for more videos just like this one. Bye-bye.